Hello, this is RV Vagabond Jerry, and I am going to go through the Automotive Hall of Fame Museum here in Dearborn, Michigan, and it is right next door to the Henry Ford Greenfield Village complex, including Henry Ford's museum, and right next door to that is one of the Ford plants. So that is the main attraction, the Henry Ford complex, but right next door is this museum, so why not come in and see that as well. So in this video I'm going to show you what is in this museum and about the people inducted into the Automotive Hall of Fame. Now this car here has an interesting history. Have you heard of Holley carburetors? The brand name Holley, which became famous making carburetors. He invented this car with a gasoline engine up front there, and let me show you the trunk. It's a picnic basket. He made carburetors for Henry Ford, but he came out with this car, which was not financially successful, so Ford convinced him to go back into concentrating on making carburetors for Ford to use in his cars. And the museum is not so much about automobiles, but about people who were significant contributors to the automobile industry. And the ones in this room are people who are inducted into the Hall of Fame during 2021. I really wish that Jay Leno would take all of his cars that are now in a hangar at an airport and create his own car museum open to the public. But no word of it happening yet. They only have a few cars in the museum, and this is one that they do have right here, which is a brand name I am not at all familiar with, even though I've been to numerous car museums. Now this, they think, is the world's first vehicle powered by a gasoline engine. It's just a wooden bicycle, no pedals, and this says that. It even has like what you call training wheels to keep it steady. And here is the world's first automobile. Now both this and this is a recreation. That was made 1885. This is 1886 by Carl Benz. He's here to show us. His wife was actually the first person to drive an automobile. First person in the world to drive an automobile was a woman. The gasoline engine. Nice. And this is an electric automobile that was invented by Thomas Edison. And as it says here, he invented it not to get into the automobile business, but to demonstrate his invention of storage batteries. And the steering here is done by the rear wheel, powered from the front wheels, and it was just a device to demonstrate the power of his batteries. And this is a Peugeot gasoline engine from 1897. One of the first goals of the automobile industry was to create a car that would go 60 miles an hour what they call the mile a minute. And here they're featuring the Lincoln Highway, which goes from San Francisco across Nevada, Utah, Wyoming, Colorado, and all the way over to New York. I've only done parts of the highway. I know some RV YouTubers who've done videos just going the entire length of the Lincoln Highway. This is about the man who invented the semi-trailer. And in case you don't know, a semi-trailer is one that has wheels only in the rear. A full trailer would have wheels on both front and back. So this is his first design for a cab to hook a semi-trailer behind. And it even has a mattress up here for a long hauler to take rest. They don't have many cars on display, but they do have this 1950 Nash Rambler. And you can thank Mr. Teeter, who invented the cruise control. Do you know who it was who designed the Volkswagen Beetle? It's kind of surprising if you don't know. It was actually Porsche. Mr. Porsche. This racing car right here, believe it or not, and you wouldn't imagine by the look of it, it is actually a Honda. And this tells the details about it. And they have a 1989 Ford Thunderbird race car, which was driven by a woman. Has details here about the racing she did. Now this room is honoring all of the men and women who have been inducted into the Automotive Hall of Fame. Starting off with some very well-known names here. And it goes all the way around. It started in 1967, 1978, and continuing around all of the years. 98, 99, and 2000, and continuing around to 2006. And then it continues 2007 around this middle display. And it looks like they're running out of room. It goes to 2020. When they fill this up, I think they're going to have to put another section on top of this pedestal. Here's some more details about certain people. Well, folks, it is a fairly small museum. I've shown you pretty much everything they have here. So if you're visiting the Henry Ford complex, which is right next door, then why not come in and see the Hall of Fame as well. Good day, folks.